So, tyre machines, really easy to use. Most of the time they're all the same to use. Really basic. Got a bead breaker, usually on the right hand side. You've got something that turns the turntable, and they usually reverse. You've got the arm on the back here. This left pedal, 9 times out of 10 will operate that forwards and backwards. And then you've got this one here, which is for the jaws for the turntable. The only difference to most tyre machines is some won't have these helper arms on the side. I decided to get one with helper arms because it's a lot easier to take tyres on and off, and I'll show you why in a second. I'll take this tyre off first. So you want to deflate your tyre, make sure it's flat. This one's completely flat. Get your bead breaker, just move this out of the way, and break your bead. So put it up against the, you don't want to put it right up against the rim, because if you put it right on the rim, you're going to scratch your wheel. So you want to leave it just a little bit off like that, but close enough that it's going to break the bead. So like that there, you want to hold it. Don't hold it like this. If you hold it like that, this arm is going to shoot itself in. When it does, if you do that, you're going to probably lose your thumb, or definitely break it anyway. So that is for the bead breaker. So just hold it like this, or like that. Keep hold of it, and it'll eventually go. There we go. Finally, the compressor's decided to shut up. So once you've broken the bead, it wants to be broken all the way around on the back, all the way around on the front. This fitting arm will usually be all the way back, so we'll just put that back with that lever there. Now you want to operate your jaws now to open up. So there's 2 ways to clamp a wheel. You can either put the wheel directly over the claws like that and clamp the wheel like this, and then the claws will open outwards like that. There we go, and then clamp the wheel in place, so now that's fixed. But you don't really want to do that, especially not with an alloy wheel, because you'll start damaging the inside of the wheel. So really what you want to do is open the jaws up, lift your wheel, get the one of the bottom bits of the alloy there into it, and you can get the second one in there. That's usually a nice easy way to do it, and then just gently just press down. Usually if you press down on these pedals just kind of a little bit, nice and slow, nice and slow, nice and slow. Try again. Yeah, that's in, all the way in. Cool. Now you want to bring your fitting head back down, and then you want to set the fitting head. So if I can find my little thing, there's my little thing, my rim protector. Put it on the rim like this, twist it, which loosens it, makes it nice and free, set it, and there you go. Now if you don't have one of these rim protectors, when you set this head, you don't want to set the head right on the rim like that, because if you set the head right close to the rim, as soon as you try and pull the tyre over, this might flex and catch against your wheel. So if you've not got a rim protector, you want to try and set it just a little bit off like that. So there's a bit of a gap there, bit of a gap on the front face there, and that should work out okay. But it's always best to try and use a bit of a rim protector. So this is our turntable. Press down to turn it, get our bar, put our bar in there, underneath the bead. Now make sure it's not just on top of the bead, like that's on top of the bead. Now if I pull it, it's just going to pull out, hit you in the face. So stand to the side of it, push down, make sure it's underneath the bead. Now this is where this helper arm is really, really good, because this tyre is really tight. So as you're pulling it back now, you want to try and push down as you're going around and pull at the same time, like that. There we go. Pull it up and over. If it's too tight, I can use my helper arm to push the tyre down, and that'll give me a bit more wiggle room here. So now that's up and over. Just make sure that doesn't fling out, hit you in the face. Always stand off slightly to the side. So hold it down, turn this table. That's going to turn it round. There we go. Now the tyre's nice and loose. Now we put this down here underneath the second bead, back on this again, lift it up, pull back down and hold. Then release this arm here. There you go, your tyre's now released. Your wheel's now there. I'm just going to clean this wheel up and put the tyre back on. Pop your valve through, put your puller on, get a little bit of soap, soap it up as you spin it round, pop it through, there you go, it's gone. Take your puller back off, put this on. Now before I put this tyre back on, I'm going to seal the rim. Never mind. Try not to get it on your hands. Let's check. This is all clear, the tyre. Nothing's on the tyre because sometimes bits of corrosion can sit on the tyre. No. Right, let's clamp the wheel back as it was. Put the tyre back on is just the reverse, apart from you have to use a little bit of paste. So tyres will have inside, outside or a rotation that they're going on. This tyre is inside, outside, see outside there. If it doesn't say inside or outside and it doesn't have a rotation, the general rule of thumb is just go for the dot code, so the date the tyre was made. But this has an inside and outside, so put a little bit of it. Oops. Now, with most tyres, you can just grab it, push it on like that and force it on, and you should be able to get the first bead on. But it's not the best practice, because if you get stuck, it's a pain to sort out. So you want to put your tyre like this, half on, half off. This is then going to come down to here, through the gap. Mind your fingers. Press your trigger there. That does that. Now you want up, over here, and under here, basically. So see how that's over there, and then it's going to sit under here, like this. While we're pushing the tyre around, watching that it's on here, obviously keep your fingers well clear of all this. Up over here, underneath here, we're going to turn the table. Just keep turning the table. See how it's still up over there, underneath here, and it's done that the whole way around. There you go, the first bead's on. The second bead is exactly the same, so it's got to go up over here, under here. This helper arm is fantastic for this. So we're going to pull this out first, pull this down. Now, because this tyre is so tough, I'd have to push this down and make sure this stays under there while also turning it. That's why these helper arms are really, really good. So if I just do that, also do that now is going to hold it down for me there. Not too much. I'll put my bar in here to keep this like that. Over there, under here. Now, if the machine starts to struggle, or you think it's a bit tight, you can come up slightly, release it slightly off here. That'll help the machine out, but then you see how it's rose up here? That's not ideal, because your tyre will then get really tight around here, and it's tight there as well. So just popped it back down a little bit there, continue to keep going, up, under, done. Put your bar back. If you've got a helper arm, release it, so lift it up, out your way. Release this arm at the back, release your jaws, your clamp, and then that's done. All that's left to do now is pump up your tyre, and you are all done and dusted.